New to You is a non-profit, Christian-based upscale resale store. My name is Margie O'Quinn, and I'm one of the managers here at New to You. Being volunteers here at New to You, they develop relationships with our customers that shop here on a regular basis, day in and day out. And this is one of the things that I think continues to bring the volunteers to New to You.
My name's Tami Doig. I'm the head of school at Daystar. New to You is a fabulous relationship for us. One is that just now I passed one of our parents who comes here regularly, who she volunteers, but I also know as someone who is in between full-time work, this is a meaningful place for her to make connections while her children are in school.
My name is Matt Davidson, and I'm the superintendent at Timothy Christian Schools in Elmhurst. The volunteer opportunities at New to You, there are plenty of them. We can always use more volunteers. But we have many of our grandparents volunteer here at the store, our parents, board members, faculty and staff, and our youth have opportunities to volunteer over here as well.
My name is Mary Post. At Chicago Westside Christian School, I serve as co-principal of the school. I was talking to one of our parents about the volunteer activities for the young people, and she said that her son loves working here.
I like to jump on the truck a few Saturdays every year with my two sons and make a few rounds and bring some deliveries here to the store. That's just one example of a volunteer opportunity.
We park the truck at Timothy Christian Schools the first Thursday of every month. We park there and people drop stuff off.
My name is Brenda Taylor. My kids attended Chicago Westside Christian School, and I am now an employee of Chicago Westside Christian School. What led to me working at the school and at New to You was my kids were enrolled in Westside under a scholarship, and part of the scholarship was to volunteer here at the store. I started volunteering like maybe once a month, and then that kind of turned into once a week, and once a week turned into 4 days a week, and so I kind of became a mainstay here at the store. So I think this is a really great place for kids to really learn to be selfless and to think more of others instead of just themselves.
Our parents have really enjoyed being able to be a part of the New to You family. Those who are able to volunteer have found a community out here. People who share their passion for Christian education, their passion for God. And it's just been a great chance for them to build some fellowship beyond the school community.
Some of the things that you can do here as a volunteer would be pricing the clothing that comes into the store, placing clothing out on the floor, helping in receiving to unload items that customers are donating, as well as loading items that customers purchase throughout the day. We do have department leads that maintain certain departments. Any volunteer that is interested in a particular department can work in that department alongside that department lead.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the wait. Come on in. Thank you. Good to see you today.
My name is Sandy Roelofs. My role here is I'm the manager. I've been the manager here for about 6 years, but I'm one of a team of managers, so I'm not alone in that. There's usually 3 of us, and we share the responsibilities together. I can say working here has changed my life, really. The people that I meet who come to shop here have been such a blessing in my life. And I never expected that, because I think of this as a place where we're coming together to work to make money for the schools, which is the most important thing, really. But then the cool thing is the people who come in. There's regulars. You get to know them by name. You get to find out about their families and their lives. when there's a pain they might have in their life, they might just come in specifically to say, here's what's happening in my life, will you pray for me? Or will you pray with me? And that is cool, because I didn't expect that.
The other day on Monday, this was really interesting and really a God moment. We were in the back room here, and a guy came and knocked at the doors over here. And so Pete opened the door and said, "Can I help you?" And he said, "Yes, I have a donation to give." And of course, we think clothes, what has he got, you know? And so Pete says, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he says, "I want to give you money." So he let him in. You know, you hear money, you think, let him in. And then he said, "What were you thinking?" And he says, "I have $400 I want to give you to your store." And he had $400 bills in his hand. He is a customer that comes in all the time, and we know him kind of, you know, he comes with another guy and they buy vintage stuff and things like that. So we started to fill out a form because he should have that for tax purposes. And as we're doing that, he says to us, "I have a brain tumor and I am going to have surgery on November the 11th. And he says, "I love this store. I love the music. I love the friendliness of you people," he said, "and it's so clean here." He says, "This is just my favorite place to come." And so Pete says, "Okay," he says, "that's great to hear, and we'll put you on our prayer list when we do devotions in the back every morning." So he went out, and at that moment, after he walked out, I said to Pete, I walked back there and I said, "We should have prayed with him." And Wendy jumped up and she said, "Yes, we should." And we got him back in, and then 4 of us stood there, held hands, and prayed with him. He was so grateful about that. He gave us all a hug afterwards. I said to him, "Make sure we know how things go, okay?" And he says, "I will." So that was just like, yeah, it makes me almost teary when I think about it. I think, you know, there's so much more to this store than just working for the kids for school.
Right.
And when people do something like that, and I've had that before too, with someone asking me to, you know, just telling me about their problems, and you can say, "I'll be praying for you."
Right.
And you know, a lot of people don't have that. And I think it's just a wonderful, I don't know, makes me feel better about volunteering even here.
You're making a difference.
Exactly. It's a mission. It really is. More than just, you know, for the kids, it's a ministry here in the store too.
We're here to uphold each other in our daily lives. And so we get that opportunity to also have a circle of friends, basically. For many people, it's the highlight of their week to come here and work because, you know, the Bible says working with your hands is a thing that is good. And I think sometimes, especially a retired person, you might feel a little useless in life. And this is a great place because we love to have everybody here, and everybody can contribute. It doesn't matter how old you are. You know what, even if you just come and have coffee, that's okay. We're just happy to have you. The reason why I feel New to You was the right choice is, in a way, it almost chose me. It came to me without trying. And I have found in my life that's kind of how God works. He does the most exciting things you haven't even planned or thought of doing. He presents them to you and says, "This is my plan for you."
While our volunteers here at New to You are seniors, we would love to have some younger adults and teenagers to come in to volunteer here at New to You. It would be a great impact to the store. What are you waiting for? Come on in, parents, students, aunts, uncles of our supporting schools. Please, we need you here at New to You. I think you would really, really enjoy volunteering here at New to You.
At Timothy Christian School, we are giving more financial aid than we ever have before, more tuition assistance than we ever have before. There are a growing number of families at Timothy that there's simply no way that they would be able to afford a Christian education apart from the help from the proceeds here at New to You.
When New to You was being formed, we were really thrilled that we were invited as a school to be a part of the thrift store and for our parents to be involved. So in addition to parents finding a community of friends here, it also has strengthened our school because there are families who may not have had the opportunity for their kids to be at the school, but that we were able to offer scholarships, and New to You made a big difference for that.
Westside School has several different things that the parents can do in order to receive tuition assistance, and coming to volunteer here is one of them. And so I've had those parents come and express to me how grateful they were for this store and for the monies that they received, because it really helped them in the situation they were in. My mother was a widow. She did not have money to give us Christian education, but there was a benefactor from our church who gave her money so that my sister and I could attend Christian school. That's how I feel New to You is, kind of a benefactor, helping those kids that cannot come. It wasn't a thing when I was in school. It wasn't a resource at that time, but that's what I think we are.
My kids were enrolled under a scholarship. As a result of that scholarship, I was able to pay a very minimal amount of tuition. And if it wasn't for New to You, there is absolutely no way I could have afforded to keep my kids in private school. It's because of the work that's put in here, the people who keep this store immaculate and keep the customers coming in, that the funds were available for families like myself to afford a quality Christian education for my kids.
Shortly after coming to Timothy Christian, I quickly heard about New to You, the resale store. Prior to this, I was not familiar with a Christian school that had a relationship with a store like New to You. I understand now there are other schools with similar models, but I found that to be very innovative, very exciting, and unique.
My son told me about New to You. He gave me a call and he's like, "Ma, I think this would be the perfect job for you. New to You is looking for a part-time manager." I immediately went online and submitted my resume along with recommendations. I have 40 years experience in the retail business. The majority of my time I was in a leadership manager's role.
I graduated from Timothy Christian School, so the school was important to me, and my husband is a teacher there as well. So he knew I was searching for something different, and nothing was coming. I was putting out applications and not receiving any answers, but then he came home and said, "Hey, New to You is hiring. They're going to hire 3 new managers. Maybe you should apply to that." So I had worked here a little bit early on when my son was in kindergarten, because the kindergarten moms used to come and volunteer while their kids were in school. So I had been here and I had worked here and knew a little bit about it, but it had been several years. But I did apply for the job and was thrilled that they hired me, and I was able to start being a manager. The reason why I feel New to You was the right choice is, in a way, it almost chose me. My past experiences have all sort of puzzle pieced together to make this be the place where all of my abilities have come together. I'm an interior designer. I know about designing and I know about space planning, and that's been helpful. I know about furniture because I've sold it for so many years. I know about the history of furniture, but also just in my regular life, my husband and I, we love to go to antique stores.
There are many families at our school that would really struggle to make ends meet, and they still do. And some of them work multiple jobs and they make the sacrifice, but the mission of New to You has allowed many families to join the adventure at Timothy Christian School that otherwise would not be able to do that. I feel God's pleasure when I work at Timothy Christian. Every day that I get up, I'm genuinely excited to get into work and to roll up my sleeves and get started, and the challenges and the opportunities that God has ahead for me on any given day.
So as co-leader of the school, one of the things I'm really passionate about is helping children to learn to love God, to love His story, to love His world, and to want to make a difference in the world. Part of our mission is to equip kids to lead and serve as Christians so they can make a difference in the world. We knew that as an urban Christian school, partnerships and different ways to have funding for the school were really, really important. So when we were given the opportunity to be a part of this, we knew it would be a win for our families, for our school, for our students. And so we were really delighted that we could be a part of it.
We bring our students, our older students in particular, to volunteer here, and it's part of how we teach them that they're not only part of contributing to the world in a wider way, but also specifically to a group that contributes to our school. And then, of course, a couple times a year we have school-wide work days here where we really just have a lot of fun, to tell you the truth, decorating the store for Christmas, just enjoying a community experience together at New to You.
I definitely wish I had attended Christian school. Every morning before I go to work, I pray not only for the kids, but I pray for the staff, I pray for the administration, that they'll be able to help these families in the way that they helped me and my family. Some of the kids come to school and they're going through things that will blow your mind. It helps me to realize, first of all, how blessed I am to be in a position to reach out to them, to minister to them, to show them love that they may not be getting in other places. It would surprise you that some kids are in a private school, but they still feel unloved by their parents and they're still lacking attention at home. And so to be able to reach out to them in this way and just kind of put your arms around them and say, hey, I'm here for you. It gives me a level of gratification that no money ever could.
I'm glad that I can be a leader at a Christian school. I have a lot of respect for people who serve as leaders of all schools, but it's particularly exciting to me to be a part of a Christian school because you can help kids understand how God is a part of their lives, understand grace, understand what it means to serve each other.
That's something that is absolutely almost forbidden in any other school. And to just be able to take a moment in the middle of a day and pray with a child is so rewarding.
Especially these days with a lot that's happening in the world, to give our children a Christian background so that they would love each other as Jesus has loved us is very important.
We are so grateful for the New to You thrift store. We're grateful for the community it provides. We're grateful for the funds it provides for us to offer affordable Christian education in the city. And we're just thankful for the vision behind it, that schools can work together for the good of the kingdom.